Hey everyone, so I think it's around midnight on the 24th of September, and I have recorded and re-recorded this video for at least a month now. I started doing it several days before that big hurricane hit in Louisiana that traveled up to New York, and since then I've just been trying over and over again, and I don't know, something for some reason is not sticking with it. So this is going to be the one and only released video on this particular subject. Of course I'll expound on this later, but I feel like this really needs to get out there. So what I saw back then was the hurricane. I knew it was regional, which is something I've never been able to pick up on intuitively, like without trying to figure it out myself. So intuitively, I knew that there was going to be something that happened in the United States towards the east part of the states and the upper east. And I knew that it was going to be some sort of flooding situation. It felt very powerful. That's what I was getting, very powerful, and that people to pay attention to your elevation and to prepare for destruction, and by doing that is realizing that you might be off the grid for a while. So basically not having access to the internet, to electricity and all that. So I didn't specifically see a hurricane, and I didn't keep looking into it. I just was receptive to the information, okay, and that's what I got. And then I thought that was it, so I was fine. I was like, well, maybe I'm done. Like, that was what I wanted to do, or that's what I picked up on the reading, and I don't have anything else to say. The hurricane already hit, so let me just let it go. And then I started feeling like the shaking underneath me, and it felt like somewhere that was not the United States, and it felt like earthquakes. I don't know where those earthquakes occurred. I want to say some of them were in California, and so I was probably wrong about that, not in as far as the region goes. And I don't know if that was really a significant thing or not. Lastly, I started feeling the volcano. And the reason I felt the volcano, I believe, is because I just saw all the hallmarks of what I would think of a volcano. Something liquid, something hot, and explosions from something natural. So the reason I'm explaining this is kind of to show you how off base I could potentially be with these things. And, you know, one could argue, and I kind of argue this with myself, of like, it is hurricane season, so of course that's naturally occurring. I want to say earthquakes and volcanic explosions happen all the time, and potentially after a hurricane. I don't know, but that's kind of where maybe one of the reasons why I keep second guessing myself and deleting it. But I think at my core I really believe what I'm about to tell you, which is this isn't the end of it. There's going to be bigger hurricanes this year, and very soon bigger earthquakes, and very soon bigger volcanic eruptions. And this is going to be a global event. So whatever kind of natural disaster could happen in your area is going to be happening. And it's going to be like that, like a plateau, and not a plateau, but like hills and valleys of events. So it's like, it's not all going to simultaneously happen, but it's going to feel like it's one after the other, after the other, after the other. And flooding is going to be one of the biggest factors in areas that we aren't normally seeing this astronomical flooding. It's going to be happening. So pay attention to your elevation of where you live, how much below sea level you are, the layout of where you live, because I feel like that's going to be in a lot of areas that, again, like the whole situation with New York, where you're not going to be expecting that level of destructive power, natural power. My biggest concern here is that I see a compass and it's going crazy. It's going crazy, 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 crazy. And then I'm seeing a highlighting of the magnetic field, the Earth's core and the magnetic field. And what I'm seeing, which I've never been one to look into or consider the powers of people or scientists to control the weather. That's not something that I ever paid attention to. No one's really talked to me about that, I don't think. If they did, I don't recall, so I don't know if this is something I internalized or not, but I do see that that is what the cause is for all of these natural disasters to be heightened. And I'm seeing it happening very soon. Like, what I see is this year, that hurricane was one of the beginnings of this, some sort of magnetic change that is human operated. And if you wonder, like, okay, if that's real, why are they getting away with it? Like, how is no one knowing? I don't know. My thing is, like, there's the potential of, like, a control center, like control people who know, and then it branches down the hierarchy, and it's like separate companies that have a specific role, and these companies either know that what they're doing is privatized, so it'd be like some private special select thing that they're doing, but they don't know like the working parts of it. They just know their specific role, and they don't know who does what with that information. And then all of these other roles, like some of them they're lied to somehow. Up the hierarchy of that particular company would be lied to, and then other companies just think that they're doing the right thing. And that's kind of how it operates all the way up to the core of it. And the core of it is doing this in order for the control of the people, because I feel this is a global thing. And in order to control the masses, they're causing natural disasters that would break down our livelihood, and we would seek out guidance for, some sort of relief from whatever natural disasters in our particular area. And then they would shut down. I'm seeing like they're shutting down the borders. Like if we did like a state control, so each state would slowly shut down for protection, because there would be crop failure is what I'm seeing, an emphasis on crop failure. And so let's say that there's somewhere that a volcano erupts. I think it's flooding. It's flooding and cold. That's going to affect the crops. That's what's really going to affect it, is some sort of massive flooding, and it's going to ruin the crops of a lot of what we eat. I don't know what it is, but that's what I see. And in order, like they would tell us like we have to stay within our area so that it can kind of like properly ration, and that would be a way to do that. It gets into some bigger stuff here, okay? And for brevity's sake, and just to kind of get into how we can prepare for something like this and who should be preparing, I'm gonna save that for another video, because I think the most important thing is I've wasted enough time of re-recording, so now's the time to prepare. Like I said, I don't know where this is specifically happening. I really don't. I see like a field of wildflowers, like meadows to the left and the right of me, and I see a long stretch of highway. And beyond that is a mountain range that I believe would be a volcano, because I feel like it's tumbling, like a landslide, rock slide, and I see an injured individual. And I don't know, and I don't know how long, but I think like this is, I'm gonna say it's, like I said, it's happening now, and so at a smaller scale, and we're gonna see a gradual increase within the next several months, like weeks, days, months, up into like possibly years. But I don't know how extreme that I'm seeing this. Like, I don't know if I'm like blowing it out of proportion and it's only one little regional area, because I do have a tendency to do that when I do this particular thing. Like sometimes I do feel events coming, and I don't know where it is, and I can pick up on the severity of it, but it doesn't, I don't feel like where it's happening. You know, is this everyone in the world, or is it just one little city? COVID, to be honest with you guys, I have no proof for this, but I did feel that there was going to be a global event, and I did feel the toilet paper issue coming, and the masks, N95 masks and hazmat suits were big for me, and so, and it did feel, it felt global, and this feels global as well. It feels like a global natural disaster that's actually that's actually unnatural. These disasters could happen, is what I'm saying. Like, if there was, I'm sticking to the volcano, because I feel like that's extreme for me. Like hurricanes, if you guys know, like I am on the East Coast, we have hurricanes all the time, massive ones, and so I just see like these super hurricanes, like super strong and decimating, like this past one did, decimating areas, and then this volcano and earthquakes and floods, and decimating that regional area, and then decimating the crops. So, and I think that it's going to bring a lot of cold. So if you can have like blankets and everything, then I would start thinking about like how to prepare for cold weather, just in case. And I think that it's better just for everyone, like if you're watching this, just to prepare. It doesn't hurt to be stocked up on a couple things, just for any sort of situation that can happen, right? And so it's not about panic buying. Don't go out and do that, because that's not going to serve you, and that's not going to serve anyone. And don't freak out, because again, that's not helping yourself, that's not helping anyone. If you have extra money, yeah, it would be nice if you can get organic, but if that's not possible, I wouldn't think that's a big deal. but just get a couple extra cans of healthy foods that can stay good longer. If you can can your own things, start doing that. If you can safely do it, I'm talking like quinoa would be good to store long term, and that's a healthy source of protein. Incorporate that into your diet if that's not something that you presently eat. And so if anything were to happen and you have quinoa on stock, then that would be something comfortable for you. Like, it wouldn't be such a drastic change for you. Think about chickpeas, cannellini beans, green peas, stuff like that are high in nutrition. You can even get them canned in water, so that's a water source for you, because you have to consider your water, how you're going to have clean water, okay? And you don't have to go like all out. You don't have to go super crazy with this, but really pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention to like the people that are like your neighbors, like the people that you interact with on a day-to-day basis. Pay attention to your electronic use, okay? Like your technology use. Is your toothbrush technology, like, is it charged, right? Power charged? Do you rely on your phone for everything? Like, are you on your phone for a really, really long time? Geographically, do you know how to get around without relying on your phone? Is your car, if you have a newer car, honestly, the majority of the cars on the road do have a computer database inside of it. Because if this is truly affecting the magnetic field, I'm going to wonder if this is going to affect our technology and to what capacity, okay? And again, I'm gonna get a little more into this later because it gets a little out there. I mean, this is already out there, but I want to be as brief and concise as possible for you guys to just start preparing and think about where you are locationally. Where are you at right now? Is this somewhere that you feel, if a natural disaster occurred, that you could stay there for an extended period of time? You know, if we're locked down for any particular reason, you know, within your state. And start breaking yourself of the habit with your phone or with any sort of technology thing, right? So if you can commute without your car, start practicing doing that. If you spend 5 hours on your phone every day, try and cut it down to 4 hours, you know, and slowly wean yourself off any sort of technology dependency. Because if anything happened where your power went out, people around you, including yourself, it's going to be such a shock to your system if your whole entire life, like how you conduct your life day to day, is gone, right? And you don't want to panic. You don't want to make things more stressful for yourself. So, you know, if you have always wanted to take up knitting or painting, then replace, you know, some of those habits with healthier habits that have nothing to do with technology. If you use an electric toothbrush, then, you know, maybe have extra toothbrushes or something. I mean, technically you don't really need a replacement because you could just manually do it, but yeah, just think about that kind of stuff. Pay attention, really pay attention to how dependent you are to anything that has to do with modern day technology. I think you'll be very surprised. And candles, maybe have some more candles around, matches, just basics like that, okay? So that's going to be my reading for now. Don't panic, just slowly prepare and be aware of things that you can control within your life right now, okay? And, you know, this isn't set in stone. I may be wrong about this. I don't feel that I am, but I can't accurately say what this is and where this is happening. I have my theories based off of what I'm hearing, but I want this video to be the sole focus of getting ready. Just get ready, because what's to come is going to seem like it's natural, and it's going to be very powerful change with whatever region you're in. And you know, yeah, you can have seeds, you can prepare with seeds so you can start gardening and everything, but if there's any sort of weather related change or flooding that ruins the soil or the air quality, then you're going to have a difficult time growing certain things. Microgreens, yeah, so just start thinking creatively and make it fun. Again, don't panic, don't stress out. I'm not stressed out. I'm not freaking out. You know, we'll get through this. We can figure it out. It's fine. We're gonna be fine. So that's my reading, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.